examining your wardrobe and deciding between which dress would look good today or what shirt would go with that pants. Perhaps today is the first day of spring and you want to wear something bright. Or maybe the Phillies are playing and you want to show your support. After deciding on something you like, you walk out the door feeling pretty confident. Now take that same situation, subtract the options and the clothes, and replace it with two identical pairs of school uniforms. That is what the affirmatives argue for in Upper Dublin next year. Many problems will rise to the top of your head, but we as negative will argue some of these. To begin, allowing students to choose what to wear gives them an opportunity to express themselves. It fosters individuality and diversity, which prepares them for the future. Because guess what? In real life, everyone is the same. As sociologist Ruth Bernstein states, allowing young people to choose their own clothes prepares them for adulthood. In an adult world, there is no school uniform. You don't have to wear a certain color. By mandating a school uniform, we are promoting conformity and the idea that everyone is the same. Is that what we really want to teach the next generation? That everyone is the same? No, because the truth is everyone is different and has their own distinct style. So why inhibit this? As the director Ty Bowers warns, when you try and make people conform in one area, they make it up for it somewhere else. Most psychologists agree that it's normal for teens to use fashion as a way of rebelling. It's what makes us kids. The American Civil Liberties Union concluded, ban every form of individual expression, and when you have left are not students, but soldiers. Second, our opponent will bring up costs. Maybe they'll throw some numbers at you and twist it so it looks like you're saving money by purchasing $200 uniforms. However, let's use some logical reasoning. The benefit of choice is that families can choose how much they want to spend on clothes. Sometimes there are discounts or sales, and you can get some nice outfits for less than 30 bucks. Besides, students aren't going to wear the school uniforms on weekends and holidays and for other activities. So in addition to the regular clothes you're going to buy, there's also the additional cost of 2 pairs of school uniforms at the least. Plus, they bring up that, well, next year we won't have to buy new school uniforms. Well, notice the resolution says kindergarten through 12th grade. I don't think the kindergarten and the first grader and the second grader have the same size shirt and same size pants. So yes, you're going to have to buy another pair each year. So thus, we're not comparing the cost of normal clothes and school uniforms, but actually the cost of normal clothes to the cost of regular clothes and school uniforms. Finally, it's impractical to implement a school uniform code by 2013. First, we must consider the logistics. Who will be in charge of designing the school uniform? How is everyone going to agree on one? Plus, the resolution states K through 12. This means kindergartners will have to wear school uniforms instead of their favorite Bob the Builder shirt. Not only will the parents go broke buying their kids new uniforms each year, but also there's no need at such a young age. They're not judging each other by their shirts. Elementary school kids do not wear profane shirts and low-cut blouses and rarely judge each other. Next, the school district must determine a way to enforce the mandate. Are we going to deny students access to public education because of their dress? What if it gets dirty and another uniform is in the wash? Furthermore, sometimes Upper Dublin students don't even follow the dress codes already in place, so what makes you think that they'll follow the school uniform policy? To restructure this, which brings me to the negatives counterplan. To restructure the school's dress policy, we must first start at step 1. First, we must develop a way to enforce the system already currently in place. Do not forget, our school does have a dress code, which I cite the school handbook. Dress code regulations are intended to establish a more conducive environment to learning, instill student discipline, reduce peer pressure, and promote an understanding of appropriate dress of an academic environment. This is already in our school handbook, so I don't see why we need a need for change. But the problem is that people aren't enforcing this. Some of these restrictions include undergarments may not be visible, midriff and back may not be exposed, miniskirts may not be worn, any form of words or designs on clothing communicating violence, drug, or alcohol, or double meanings are not permitted. Honestly, we can all admit to seeing this in the hallways and perhaps breaking the law ourselves. Due to the lack of discipline, such clothes are sometimes seen in Upper Dublin. However, by enacting a simple enforcement plan, we can eliminate any distractions or indecencies that the affirmative may argue. We propose a warning system with 3 stages. First offense may involve a warning and a change of clothes if possible. Second offense would be detention. And third offense would be a parent conference to discuss school-appropriate dress. If you set the example for one student, others will get the message. If teachers followed these actions, our school would be free of clothes-related problems that our opponents bring up. We must attack the problem at the root of the source, and not put a band-aid over it by enacting school uniforms. In conclusion, when deciding this debate, we must face the facts. Although some of the benefits of school uniforms may apply to some schools, Upper Dublin does not need to change their policies. Let me remind you that we have a dress code. There's no gang violence or bullying because of outfits, and students do not perform poorly because of what they are wearing. UD certainly doesn't lack school spirit. Thus, if there's no need for change, then the negative have won in this debate. Do not crucify us on the cross of your school uniforms. Vote negative.